Hardly the newest model, but it fulfills its purpose. But people should be working, not watching TV.
Damn it! The stupid satellite dish needs adjusting again.
That's pretty. My grandmother used to earn a living crocheting placemats like that. I would probably break my fingers trying. And I lay on that thing. Ugh. Pull it once over this sharp edge, and the work of many evenings goes to the dogs. Ooh, if my grandmother would see that. It's broken out of the wall. The thread is not all that strong if a part breaks off when I tie a knot. Hopefully someone will tell me if he sees any sense in this construction. The stone seems to have hit the bottom. Now I can exchange a few smaller objects with Max. Take that, scourge of every health authority. A bit out of my exclusive comfort mattress. This chair leg is only made out of plastic, but I still can't break it off. So now the last leg is off too. Don't you go walking away.
I'll take the back of the syringe off. The needle and its attachment should then be light enough for me to use it as a dart in my blowpipe. And if I touch this needle now, our little adventure will come to a pretty fast end.
Crap! How did that happen?
That guy's making a hell of a noise. We'll have to get him to shut up very quickly. I think it was such a hectic job, a little bit of haste won't hurt the guard.
Ouch! What was that?
So, I'm rid of him for now. So, this is where the second guard is sitting. I almost landed in his lap. One more step and he'll notice me. I've got to think of something to distract him. Cheese soup. Theoretically very delicious, but theory and practical life are very often rather far apart. The sponge sucks itself full of soup.
The sweet smell of decomposition is the only reminder of what was once in here, whatever that might have been. Tying things together seems to be becoming a new hobby of mine. Looks like it could work as a trap. Stress on the could. If it is really true that mice and rats like cheese, then this aromatic piece of foam rubber must be the perfect bait. Trap, bait. Now all I need is the prey. The big game hunt can begin. Then let's have a look and see what we've caught. I like rats almost as much as I like the dentist and leg amputations.
Run as fast as you can and keep the guard busy for as long as you can. Good luck.
Just you wait, you little beast! I'll get you!
Nina's cell must be behind this door. The door is locked.
Max, quick! Get me out of here!
Hang on a moment. I've nearly done it. I'll take the thumbtacks with me, but the bulletin board can stay where it is. I've put a bit of that anesthetic on the needle. I'll put this thumbtack under the cushion so that the guard doesn't get suspicious.
Damn! That rat just slipped away from me! But wait, I'll get you next time! Ah! Spivak, you're a rat as well! But I'll get you too!
All is quiet. I hope the dose was strong enough. A bunch of keys.
I'm really happy to see you, and thanks for...
My pleasure, noble princess. Come on now, we have to go.
I'll just get my things together. Hopefully those guys haven't grabbed everything. Thanks, you two. I would hate to think what would have happened if you hadn't come along.
You don't have to, but we wouldn't let you rot anywhere in the sticks.
I knew that I could rely on you.
Anytime. If I had to, then I would even...
Could you postpone the niceties until later? We should get going. The people in the hospital are bound to notice your absence soon.
Yeah, I'm ready. Although,
What?
We must be really close to where my father used to set up camp on his earlier expeditions. Am I right?
Yes, that's true. But we really don't have any time for that. The hospital belongs to the Russian military, and when they sound the alarm, it will get extremely uncomfortable around here. We should first get out of here and think about how we want to proceed along the way.
But...
No buts. The risk of landing here in the first place was already big enough. We are going. Max, I need your help to get the airplane ready for liftoff.
Oleg is right. We've got to get away from here first, and then we'll see what happens. Go on, get your things out of the Jeep and come.
Attention! Attention! An alarm has gone off in the neighboring military hospital. A female patient who is considered extremely dangerous has escaped. The military has been notified and several soldiers are on their way here. Until they arrive, no one is allowed to leave the airfield. Everyone is ordered to be on high alert. No one will be permitted to take off or land.
Damn, they're looking for me already. What now? We'll meet here in a few hours.
I hope you have good news.
Unfortunately, no. Kalenkow is still missing.
I'm waiting for the good news.
Well, at least the others haven't found him yet either.
We are running out of time. The preparations for the project are almost finished, and everyone is waiting for you to finally find the missing piece of the puzzle.
I'm doing my best. What should I do if...
Concentrate on his past. Someone has to know about Kalenkow's research, and if he can't tell us his secret himself, then others will just have to do it for him.
Hopefully Max and Oleg are all right. I suppose they weren't born yesterday. They'll get along with the soldiers somehow. And exactly how are we going to get away from here again, I don't yet know. We can brainstorm that later. In the meantime, I can try to find the camp from which my father started his expeditions. The thing is, where do I look? Apart from this tent, I have found no signs of human existence. Hopefully I can get some help here. A beautiful animal. Wouldn't it make a wonderful bedside rug? The fur is quite soft. It would definitely... Don't look at me like that, or I'll put my thoughts into action. There will be everything one needs to survive in there. It makes a very solid impression. Through a small hole in the lid, you can see that it's almost full of water. A small plug stuck in the barrel. The trough is empty. Clearly, nobody seems to take very good care of the animals. Sorry for simply barging in like this, but I'm looking for...
Medicine. Parchment. Burns.
What? Which parchment? And what kind of medicine? I don't understand. The old guy seems to be in a kind of semi-conscious state. I'm not at all sure if he can even hear me. Obviously, he needs some kind of medication. I'll take a look around. The fire hasn't completely destroyed the parchment, but it is pretty charred and brittle. These bits of parchment have been so badly fire damaged that they'll fall apart if I pick them up. I'll have to restore them somehow. I have a different concept of sharp. They all look as if they're about to fall apart. I'll be very careful that... One of the threads has come loose. I don't need any more of them, so I'll leave the tassels where they are. I need your help, old man.
Me. Sin.
In his condition, I am hardly going to be able to talk to him. I'm afraid he's going to fall into a coma at any time. A strange creature with its mouth open. It seems to be some type of nutcracker.
No.
The old guy obviously doesn't want me to take the statue. I'd better leave it here. Too big, too heavy, and too useless. Then I'll get on with my favorite hobby and start destroying things. And this is all that this spade and I leave over from the case. The tree is ancient. It must have survived the catastrophe undamaged, but that was 100 years ago. Only the bark is flaking off. But that would happen to me after a century as well. I definitely won't fell the tree with that. I'll limit myself to the bark. A huge bit of bark. Pretty sticky, this stuff. If I touch that stuff, I'll never get it off my hands again. That poor animal is drinking as if there were no tomorrow. The barrel has a fitted lid, and therefore I can't get it off. There's some water in it. Resin at the bottom, water on top, and cup surrounding it all. A sharp stone. Not really the superlative in whetstones, but these scissors can't get any blunter. And how's that? It now cuts more than butter. Beautifully sharp again. A failed and abandoned attempt to plant and raise a tomato plant, known to the biologist as Solanum lycopersicum. For others, love or paradise apple, a member of the nightshade family. Siberian gentian leek seems to be the only plant that flowers around here. That stuff stinks. It looks and smells like there's sulfur coming out of there. Through heating, the water and the resin have mixed. The resin is almost runny now. Easy there, boy. I've tied the hair into a sort of ponytail. If I take the spoon, the hairs, and this thread, and Hey! It works! It will never be a masterpiece of contemporary art, but it will serve its purpose admirably. The resin is still runny enough to paint with. If I paint the resin very carefully over the parchment pieces... It worked! 5 parts of the source of life, 2 parts of root of tears, 1 part blood of the night, 3 parts drops of intoxication, to be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient. Hey, old man, wake up. Is this the recipe for your medicine? It really does seem to be the recipe. The old guy wants me to prepare it in this vial. I'll have to hurry preparing his medicine. He's not going to hold out for much longer. The shepherd gave me the small vial. I believe he wants to have his medicine in there. Ketchup is made of tomatoes. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family. That could be the connection to the blood of the night reference. I'll try it. First aid? Only first aid for alcoholics. 1 bottle of vodka and nothing else. No bandages, no painkillers. Apart from the vodka, of course. 3 parts, drops of intoxication. This is obvious. Five parts from the source of life. Got it. I know. They're under the protection of nature conservation laws. I'll be very careful. Well, that must be the right doses, depending, of course, on the bulb being meant as the root of tears. This grill is rather rusty. Making fire is becoming one of my specialties. Hopefully this witch's brew doesn't blow up in my face. I have no idea when the stuff is ready. But before it all evaporates, evaporate. That's it. To be taken before it unites with the wind. Then the medicine must be finished. Drink, old man. I hope that helps.
Thanks.
My pleasure. What happened?
A little difference of opinion with the guards.
Guards? From the research station?
Yes, Oh, it's not important.
Not so important. You nearly died.
But I'm alive. And you aren't just here to help me, are you? You have some questions.
Yes. How did you know?
Your eyes betray you. The eyes betray everyone. Your eyes. I know your eyes. They were here once a long time ago.
Me? I was most certainly not.
Yes, they were. But they weren't in the body of a young woman. You're the daughter of... What was his name again?
Vladimir Kalenkow? You know my father?
Yes, Vladimir was his name. He came to me back then like you are today, with the same eyes.
I need your help. If you knew my father, then you can also tell me what happened here all those years ago.
I'm only a shepherd. I've always been a shepherd, and I will remain a shepherd for the rest of my life.
But...
I know my place in life, and you should know yours too. Listen to the words of a simple man. My son didn't listen to me.
What do you mean?
You want to know what happened here almost 50 years ago, and what is happening here today. My son was also curious. He didn't want to listen to me. He found a strange piece of metal in the woods, and he asked questions. The wrong questions to the wrong people. I never saw him again. There are things that we are just not meant for. If we don't realize this...
Old man, your words may be very wise, but my father is in danger and I need your help.
I know. I can see it in your eyes. You really are just like your father. I also warned him, but he didn't want to listen to me either. He entered the cursed realm of the Ugdi, the evil thunderbirds that have been sent to cause endless sickness since the year of the great catastrophe. Your father ignored my warning, and his companion must have paid dearly for it. I know that I cannot stop you, so I will tell you where your father had his camp back then. Follow the northern path until you reach the swamps, and you will find what you are looking for. But always remember my words. Be careful in everything you do. Things happen here that no one can even begin to imagine.
The Evink was right. The atmosphere here is real strange. So unreal. Even if perhaps a good portion of superstition is involved, I have a strange feeling here. And then the story with the thunderbirds and the endless sickness. Pull yourself together, Nina. You're just exhausted. There are no thunderbirds, and any phenomenon, no matter how mysterious, can be explained rationally. Hopefully. That must be the site that the old man spoke of. My father started his expeditions from here. Maybe I'll find an explanation here of how the events of the past link with the kidnapping of my father. I should probably watch out where I'm stepping. One false step could be my last one. An 8mm film projector. Considering its age and the fact that it's not professionally handled here, it is not in bad condition. It won't work without electricity. old rag. The button must have a purpose. But what? Nothing happens. There is nothing special to see, but then again, it is pitch black in there. A small bit of tinfoil. Are shards always broken, or are there whole shards? An interesting question. I'll have to ask my former philosophy professor. A generator, supplying the hut with power. There is obviously no more fuel in it. That would have been too good. If I remember correctly, then that thing has something to do with magnetism and producing electricity. A bit of petroleum still seems to be in there. It looks like a garden hose. Time has been gnawing away at it, but there don't seem to be any large cracks or holes in it. An old drinking water tank. That must be a tributary of the stony Tunguska. It's not the river's fault, but I'm starting to hate that name. This has been plundered. Everything that can be taken off and carried is gone. There are only 2 small nuts here, and I am having them. There still seems to be a bit of diesel oil in there. Wow, what a monster! I have to ask, even if I'm talking to myself, how did that thing get here? That must be the research station that the transit train is supposed to be going to. Has it even arrived there at all? The research station is certainly impressive. It even has its own runway, and probably just as impressively secured. I can forget getting in there. I'm not even sure that I want to go in anyway. After all, I have heard and read about this station and the place it was built on. Anyway, the station does radiate a certain fascination. Not a positive one. And the longer I look, the more I get the shivers. I'd better make my way back. There's a lot to do, and I still don't know what secret out of Daddy's past is concealed here. The river drops about 30 meters here. It's a very impressive sight. The whole station looks like out of a science fiction movie. Hardly believable, considering that it has been here for several decades. Will its secret ever be revealed to me? There's still plenty of vodka in there. If I want the one spirit, I think I will have to get rid of the other. Nastarovia! Oops, I think I'm a bit out of practice. The rest of the diesel oil out of that old trunk. There is obviously no more fuel in it. That would have been too good. call quality craftsmanship. Over 50 years old, and it still works like it did when it came out of the factory. I'll hold both nuts close to the coils, but not too close, otherwise I'll be toast. As a result, they seem to become magnetized. The rag is soaked through. I'll light the lamp. I would never have dreamed that one day I would clean out a chimney from the inside. Now that the suit is off, I can see numbers written on it. 7.5, 3, 10.5, 6. That's strange. Obviously, the compass needle only moves when I press the button. I seem to have triggered a mechanism, but nothing has happened yet. Secret compartment. There are a few old documents and a roll of film in there. I'll have a look at the documents. Maybe my father left them there. Yes, indeed. He describes that the 1958 expedition apparently could not provide an explanation why the plant growth has changed so much here since the catastrophe of 1908. The discovery of a meteorite, hoped for by the government as a cause of the devastating explosion, also did not materialize. For this reason, neither my father in his function as the leader of the expedition, nor the biologist, Ken Moranti, could provide an unambiguous conclusion, which obviously was not regarded favorably by the authorities. Oh, and they are also briefly mentioning Oleg here, but apparently he was not that important. I guess I'd better not tell him that. Years later, in his function as a geologist at the Academy of Sciences in Moscow, my father examined a strange piece of metal that had been found in the Tunguska region. He then was able to prove its non-terrestrial origins, which breathed new life into the meteorite theory. However, upon further analysis, he and his colleague, Manuel Perez, discovered traces that indicated that the metal had been worked. When they wanted to publish their discovery in the Kalenkow expert, it was completely, surprisingly, rejected, and they were forbidden any further examination of the rock. When my father continued to inquire about the happenings in the Tunguska region, he was dismissed from the Academy of Sciences. The last entries are from 1977. Obviously, he and Manuel Perez went to the Tunguska region on their own. They hoped to find additional fragments of that strange material so they could continue their studies. What the goal was and what happened isn't written down in here. In addition, I have this burning desire to know what is going on with this fragment. On the one hand, it's probably not of terrestrial origin, but on the other hand, it was processed. That would mean the old Evan also said something about his son finding some metal fragment in the woods and then suddenly disappearing. That would fit in with the fact that my father was even thrown out of the Academy of Sciences due to his analysis. I hope that I will find some more answers on that roll of film. Damn, the bulb has burned out. It's not possible to just pop around to the shops and get another around this place. So now is the time to think of something else. I've I've wrapped the tinfoil around the broken glass. I've put in the modified glass shard. If I now shine in there with a strong flashlight, maybe it will work as well as the light bulb did. But where do I get a flashlight? As an obedient little housewife, of course I know what my duties are. There, finished. Shall I make dinner now as well?
So, Manuel, the camera's rolling.
Please excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back.
Manuel!
What was that? Lightning? Or sheet lightning? And what happened to this Manuel Perez? That sounded like an explosion. I should see what's going on. Looks as if half the station exploded.
Come on! Move your asses! The intruders have to be around here somewhere. We'll get them. Spread out!
Oh, my head. What was that? Feels like someone sifted through my thoughts.
There's someone up there! Get them!
Damn. I have to get away from here.